Hi, please enjoy the following presentation of The Different Duckling by Shanae Tucker. It was a beautiful summer day in Poultry Town, and Mother Duck was sitting on her sofa, watching TV, waiting for her eggs to hatch. The other ducks that lived close by rather go into the city than keep her company. Suddenly, the eggs began to crack, and the little ducklings started to peep their heads out one at a time. "Peep, peep, peep," said the ducklings.
"Quack, quack," said Mother Duck.
All the ducks repeated in unison. The ducklings stared, stretching their heads out and looking at the light around the room. Mother Duck allowed them to because the light was good for their eyes. She noticed that there was one more egg left to hatch. It was the largest. Mother Duck was very tired of sitting and waiting, but she knew that was the only thing she could do. One of her friends, Donna Duck, came to pay her a visit.
"How have you been?" asked her friend Donna Duck.
"One egg is not hatched yet. It will not break. But just look at all the others. Are they not the prettiest little ducklings you ever saw? They are the image of their father, who is unkind. He never comes to see," said Mother Duck.
"Let me see the egg that will not break. I have no doubt it is a turkey's egg. I was persuaded to hatch some once. After all my care and trouble with the young ones, they were afraid of the water. I quacked and clucked, but all to no purpose. I could not get them to venture in. Let me look at the egg. Yes, that is a turkey's egg. Take my advice, leave it where it is, and teach the other children to swim," said Donna Duck.
"I think I will sit on it a little while longer. Since I have sat so long already, a few days will be nothing," said Mother Duck.
"Please yourself," said Donna Duck, and she went away.
At last, the large egg broke, and a young one crept forth crying.
"Peep, peep," said the ugly duckling.
It was very large and ugly. Mother Duck stared at it and exclaimed,
"It is very large and not like all the others. I wonder if it really is a turkey. We shall soon find out, however, when we go to the water. It must go in if I have to push it myself."
On the next day, the weather was delightful and the sun shone brightly on the green grass. So Mother Duck took her young ducklings down to the pond and jumped in the water with a splash. The ducklings jumped in one after another. The water closed in over their heads, but they came up in an instant and swam about beautifully with their legs paddling under them as easily as possible. And the ugly duckling was also in the water, swimming with them.
"Oh, that is not a turkey. How well he uses his legs, and how upright he holds himself. He is my own child, and he is not so very ugly after all, if you look at him properly. Quack, quack, come with me now. I will take you into town and introduce you to all the store owners, but you must keep close to me or you may get crushed."
When they reached the town, there was a great disturbance. Groups of robins were fighting over one little worm.
"See, children, that is the way of the world," said the Mother Duck. "Come now, use your legs and let me see how well you can behave. You must bow your heads nicely to that old pigeon yonder. She is the highest born of them all, therefore she is well off. Don't you see she has a red flag tied to her leg, which is something very special and a great honor for a pigeon. It shows that every one is anxious not to lose her, and she can be recognized both by man and animal. Come now, don't turn your toes. A well-bred duckling spreads his feet wide apart, just like his father and mother. In this way now, bend your neck and say, 'Quack,'" said Mother Duck.
These ducklings did as they were told, but the other ducks stared and said, "Look, here comes more ducklings, as if there were not enough of us already. What an odd-looking object one of them is. We don't want him here." And then one flew out and bit him in the neck.
"Leave him alone," said the mother.
"Yes, but he is so big and ugly, and therefore he must be turned out."
The others are very pretty children, all but that one. I wish his mother could improve them a little," said David Duck.
"That is impossible. He is not pretty, but he has a very good disposition, and swims as well as or even better than the others. I think he will grow up pretty, and perhaps be smaller. He has remained too long in the egg, and therefore his figure is not properly formed. I think he will grow up strong, and able to take care of himself."
"The other ducklings are graceful enough. Now make yourself at home," said David Duck.
And so they all made themselves comfortable except the poor little duckling who had crept out his shell last of all and looked so ugly, and was bitten and pushed and made fun of, not only by the ducks but by all the other animals. He is too big. He is too ugly. This all made the duckling become quite red in the head with passion, so that the poor little thing did not know where to go and was quite miserable because he was so ugly and laughed at all the time by the whole entire town. So it went on from day till it got worse and worse. The poor little duckling was driven away by everyone. Even his brothers and sisters were so unkind to him, and his mother said she wished he had never been born. The ducks pecked at him and the chickens beat him. So at last the duckling decided to run away from everyone.
"They are all afraid of me because I am ugly," he said. "So I will fly far away and find new friends who will love me. And I won't care if I'm ugly or not," said the ugly duckling.
So the ugly duckling flew to the other side of town to his Aunt Dana Duck and Uncle Dean Duck's home, where he wanted to start a new life. He began a new school, and on his first day the ugly duckling was teased again. Everyone in his class called him names and told him to go back to his old town, except for Billy Bluebird. The ugly duckling was even more hurt, and now he didn't have anywhere else to run to. At lunch, Billy Bluebird saw the ugly duckling sitting all alone eating his lunch. He walked over to his table and sat with him and said,
"Hey, I'm sorry about what happened earlier. The same thing happened to me my first day here," said Billy Bluebird. "Really?" said the ugly duckling. "Yes, on my first day of school last year, I was teased because I looked different from everyone else, because my feathers are blue, and I stood out. But I just told them that my feather makes me unique and different from everybody else," said Billy Bluebird. "But I'm not cool color like blue. I'm just boring, black, and ugly," said the ugly duckling. "You aren't boring. You were made ugly for a reason. Being ugly makes you unique and different from everyone else. It doesn't matter if you are ugly or have bright blue feathers. We're both beautiful in the inside." "I guess you're right. I'm going to start embracing being ugly because now I know it makes me different from everyone else. Thank you, Billy, for your advice. I really needed it," said the ugly duckling. "No problem. I'm glad I could help. Hey, you want to go play in the yard before it's time to go back to class?" said Billy Bluebird. "Sure," said the ugly duckling.
After they finished their lunch, they flew over to the yard to play. Billy Bluebird and the ugly duckling became the best of friends, and neither one of them cared what other people had to say about them. They knew they were different for a specific reason, and they knew they were unique in their own special way.